Hey everybody, it's Paul Perry with CDA Software. We're going to go ahead and get started on our second part of a three-part video on the main tab. So here we are, we're on the main tab, and now what we're going to do, we're over at unit information. So what we're going to do for this video, we're going to talk about everything that has to do with unit information. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So over to the left of brand, you see this little icon right here. If you click on that icon, what it's going to do is it's going to open up a web page. And we have it predetermined to go ahead and open up GSPN. Now let me go ahead and show you how to configure that. So if you want to configure how, when you select a brand, a unique brand, it will open up into a unique web page. What you're going to do is you're going to go to the MFG menu. You're going to say Edit Manufacturers. And I'm just going to pull it up right over here, and you'll notice I'm going to type in Samsung. So for Samsung, we have it predetermined to open up to this URL. So that little icon right there will open up this URL. And you can do that for each of the manufacturers to open up a unique web page. So that's how that works. So now let's go ahead and continue to look at the various options. So here it says brand. If you click right here, it says display all MFG codes. So this has all the different brands and manufacturers that you work for. So now in order to get to this list, what you'll do is you're going to go to the MFG menu. You're going to say edit manufacturers. And again, you're going to list all your manufacturers. You can add and you can delete. And we do have a video on how to work with this, but that's how you get to that. Again, it's the MFG menu. Over here we have the product code, so if I click right here, it's going to allow me to see all of my different product codes. Now in order to edit your unique list of product codes, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the Utilities menu, you're going to go to Product Code Setup. Here's all your product codes. You can right click, you can say delete, you can say edit, just like before. If you want to add a product code, you just say add, and then you go ahead and add a product code. So that's how product code works. And then last but not least, we have the purchase date. So you can manually put in the purchase date if through the RTI, which is the real-time integration, through Service Bench, Service Power, and Dispatch.me, if that information was given to us, we will go ahead and input that information automatically. We also will automatically input brand, product code, purchase date, the serial number, the model number, and the version number. If all that information was provided, we will go ahead and insert that information. Alrighty, so the next field we have is going to be the serial number. So over here will be the serial number, will be auto-populated or manually, and then right next to it, it says serial number lookup. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that. And what that does is that's showing us that we have many jobs in our system that had a match for this serial number. And then you'll notice over here there's a button that says insert unit information into current record. So if I was to double click on this, it would take this information and it would insert it into this claim. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just leave it. And then also it says double click to edit. So if I double click, I could go ahead and edit as well. And what it does is you can see it brought up the ticket. So that's how that works. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and close that. And next off, we're going to go to the model number field. So here we have the model number field. To the left of it, it says model attachments. So what you can do in CDA is that for a model number, you can assign it attachments. And so what happens is your triage department and other people within the organization, they can click on that paperclip icon, and perhaps for us, it will show a manual. And so you can see for this model number, we store a manual. You can store wire diagrams, pictures, anything that you want to store for that model number. Whenever this model number comes in through a ticket, it will automatically have attachments. So let's go ahead and see how you do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the utility menu, and I'm going to go to model number setup. And so you can see there's our model number, and here's the one that we have. And so what we can do is we can right click, we can delete it, or we can right click, we can say edit. So here it is, it opened up, and you can see we have it with the manufacturer's brand, we have the model number, we have the product code, and another thing you can do, which is pretty neat, is that on certain model numbers, when it comes in, you can pre-assign it to a technician. So let's say you only have one guy in your organization, or gal, or a technician, who works on Wolf ovens, and this person is specially trained. You could say, hey, when a Wolf oven comes in, only this particular technician will work on it, so we will go ahead and auto assign it to that technician. So that's a pretty neat feature. And then what you can do also is you can pre-assign a labor rate for COD, warranty, and for a third party. You can put in what those fixed costs are going to be for this model number, and you can also do your warranty coverage as well. And you can also put a message for this model number. Now, in order to get an attachment in there, all you would do is you will click on attachments. And then what you do is you can either click add, which if you clicked add, you would go ahead, you would navigate to add an item. And if you right click, you can say open it. You can say add a new file, you can delete the file, you can email the file, you can do select all to download it, or you can say download this PDF somewhere. All of that is managed through the model number setup. You can also, if you have a flatbed scanner, you can also scan documents to the attachments. And so that's what that is used for. And now let's say I want to add a new item, a new model number for everyone. So all I would do is I would say add, and then we would just go through the same setup. We would select our brand, we would type in the model, we would select our product, and that's how simple and easy it is to use the model number setup. Now to the right of the clipboard, it says scan. So if you click on that, that is just, if you have a flatbed scanner, you can go ahead and scan what you have, so that when you click on the attachments, it will pull up those files for this model. And last but not least, we have the Encompass model to parts lookup. So this model, we're going to click for Encompass, and it's going to go ahead, let us know, yes, we have information, and we can see it has 123 parts. And we have a separate video on our YouTube channel that talks all about our integration with Encompass. And so that's how that works. And now we have the model number version. You will go ahead and put that in there. And then what we have is we have dealer stock. So when you click on dealer stock, what it's going to do, if you look down here, it says third party. For dealer stock, all dealer stocks are warranty coverage jobs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on our other ticket that we have. So when we click on dealer stock, when that checkbox is enabled, we will automatically change the labor and parts coverage over to warranty. And you'll also notice it's grayed out. So when you click the dealer stock checkbox, it is going to be warranty only, and you will not be able to change it unless you uncheck it. So let's go back. Over here is going to be the billing code. So the billing code is who's going to pay for it, and you just do that pop out. The next one is going to be the dealer code. The dealer code is for where was the unit purchased. And we have what is called a location field. So in the location field, you can type in the location of the unit. So for us, for our demo example, we're saying, hey, this unit is at warehouse 200. And so this lets everyone know where the unit is located. That's what you can use that field for. And now over here it says the dealer name. So wherever we selected the dealer, we'll go ahead and insert the name, the city. Then over here we have the store work order and call number. So that's going to be from the third-party manufacturer or the warranty work that you do. If it comes in through the RTI, we will go ahead and auto-populate your work order and ticket number, and that will also go for ticket number as well. So both of these fields normally will be auto-populated, or you would manually put them in depending on how your tickets come in. That's what that information is used for. And then last but not least, we see here it says export code. And what that is, that's just telling you when a ticket is automatically imported into the system, did it come from FSS, which is service power, or perhaps it came from SB, which is service bench. Generally speaking, for the export code, that is auto-populated when you're using the RTI. Again, the RTI is the real-time integration for service bench, service power, and dispatch.me, and many more. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to look at this area right here, and then we'll go ahead and conclude our video. We have what's called chassis info. So if you're doing some repairs that have chassis, you can go ahead, fill in all this pertinent information that is pretty logical on what it says. Even if it's a chassis pool, you can go ahead and utilize that. Over here, if you do work with Sears and the Service Live, you can go ahead and input all the information that has to do with working on Sears jobs. So that's what that looks like. And so next what we're going to take out is the model number service history. So again, pretty self-explanatory. This model number, what is the service history? So we can click on that. And what it's going to allow you to do, it's going to allow you to either download a CSV, or it's going to allow you to download a PDF to see all the information on when this model number was used for different claims. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that looks like when we click on the create and print to a PDF. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and click on that button. And then what happened is it went ahead and opened up a PDF. It's telling us the history. It's saying it was used for this claim number, it was used for this claim number, and this claim number. So again, what we'll do is we will show you the history where the model number was used on all the various different claim numbers. So now what we have the scan button. So again, this is so you can do a flatbed scan of information that is pertinent to this claim number. And what happens is when you do a flatbed scanning, you're going to go ahead, scan, it'll scan to a PDF, and it will insert everything that you scan into the attachments. So that's how that works. And last but not least, we have our attachments button. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And what happens is this is where all the attachments come from. So when your technician is out in the field, all the attachments will end up in here. If you want to manually add an attachment to this claim number, you would just click on add, you would navigate, and you would go ahead and insert. And just like we saw a little bit earlier, we can right click. We could say, hey, open up this file, which it would open it in Paint or something like that. We could say, hey, I want to add a file. So add new file is no different than clicking add. We could say I want to delete it. I want to email it. If I had multiple files, I could say select all. And then last but not least, I can download this file to my computer or my workstation if I want to as well. So that's going to go ahead and conclude our video for everything that has to do with unit information.